Hi, thank you for joining me for day 26 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life. And today's sketch you can see in the top right hand corner there is created by the lovely Ruth Lewindon, who's another Brit. So her sketch has one main photo in the middle and then three up the side. I've gone slightly different from Ruth's sketch in that I'm using one main photo and then I'm going to use some of the 49 and Market film strip frames you can see here up the side of the photo to the left hand side. So I've pulled out my Vicki Boutin print shop for this layout because straight away I saw the purple in the photo of Guildford Flames colours. We went to an ice hockey game in Northern Ireland and it was the final between Belfast Giants and Guildford Flames. Guildford Flames have this lovely purpley colour for their shirts, so I immediately thought of this polka dot paper in the print shop collection from Vicki Boutin, so that's what I decided to use this time. So I wanted to map my photo onto some black and white, so I just pulled out this floral piece. It doesn't really matter which one it is because it's such a tiny bit that you see around the edge, you can't tell it's floral. I just wanted something a little bit more than a plain white, and then I'm going to stick that onto this blue wood grain and cut that out as well. And then I can start layering up and embellishing. This layout came together incredibly quickly. I was a little bit flummoxed when I saw the three photos up the side of the main photo, and it's more of a square main photo. But once I decided to use these film strips, it came together really quickly, and I'm so happy with the result. So we went to this game back on the 1st of April. It was when we were toing and froing when my father-in-law was in hospital and indeed had just passed away at this point, but we'd already booked our flights for the kids to go and see him in the school holidays. So we went over anyway and decided to make some memories. So we booked in to go and see this match at the Odyssey, and it was brilliant. We've never been before. We thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm just going to layer up some bits behind the top left hand corner, to create an embellishment cluster like Ruth has on her photo. She's got a big star there, so I've seen that as an embellishment cluster place. And you can see I just pulled out this film, it's like a film slide frame to put over the three of them. It was a photo that I took just outside the arena with the hoardings. It was an electrical hoarding showing Belfast Giants and Guildford Flames. So sticking that over the three of them to highlight them, and then I'm just going to embellish the bottom left hand corner of the photo as well, because there's not a lot on this photo that needs to be shown other than that hoarding and my three people. So I'm just layering up. You can see here I messed up when I was doing this layering. I put my glue on the back of that label and I meant to put it on the front to stick it to the photo. So I decided to use that opportunity to just get everything stuck down. I'm just going to punch the hole in this tag. This was cut apart from I think it was from one of the 6x8 papers. I cut them apart a while ago, I can't remember now. It was either the 6x8 or the 12x12, but I'm pretty sure it was the 6x8. So just adding some glue to layer all this up before I actually stick it down to the layout. And it's at this point that I realised that I really needed to get everything stuck down. So just using my Sticks 2 tape runner, nice and quick and easy, underneath that photo mat, and then using my wet glue to glue these film strip frames down. And you can see I pulled out a black chipboard ticket there, and I just pulled off some layers of the chipboard. They're too thick for me, so that solves that problem. And then I'm dipping into these LE Studio puffy stickers. These are the Good Stuff puffy stickers, and they're fantastic. I love circular elements on my layouts. So I've used that at the bottom, and it just says this was super fun. I've also pulled out my tickets from the Ticket Essentials 49 and Market. This is another favourite of mine to add as little bits and pieces to tuck underneath and add into embellishment clusters. I really feel they make a difference, and I've got them in quite a few different colours now. So just adding a few of those tickets, one at the top here into that cluster, and then I'll add another one at the bottom underneath that black chipboard ticket. Also add a stamp as well, because it's just a different colour tone, so I like how that plays with the other bits and pieces that I've got down there. So this is the last little ticket piece that I'm going to tuck in, and then I can start working on my title. And I have kept my title the same as Ruth put in the sketch. So I'm doing Odyssey Arena, which is where we were. So using these very old glitter thickers, I thought the white would really pop against the purple. So just spelling out Odyssey, and I didn't have 2 S's, so I've used a number 5. I don't really like doing that, but I was determined to get these thickers used, and when I was halfway through and realised I only had 1 S, I thought I'll make do with what I've got. So I've done that. And then on this film strip frame, I'm going to add a stamped title, Arena. So just getting these LE Studio stamps lined up on my Tim Holtz stamping block, and then I shall stamp Arena. So I do AREN, and then I go back in with the A to finish it off. And I love stamping on ephemera pieces. It really makes the title part of the layout rather than being stickers added on afterwards. So it was fun to do this, and I really need to make the effort to do that more. Now this frame is hanging over the photo, and I was worried about the different levels with stamping on it, so I've just added some fun foam behind just to act as a stamping block really behind the frame there. So now I'm going to glue these chipboard thickers down, because they don't last on layouts. When the layout gets moved about in albums, they do tend to fall off, so some glue will resolve that problem. This is one of the resin dots that we've got at Hey Little Magpie in our bits and pieces. I love those, and this was just a navy and wood one. And then I'm going to add some twine. You can see there the wax twine that I've got, and I'm just going to add that to the tag and then thread it through the film strips just to trail down the layout. So just pulling that through, and that will just sit nicely like that. Just pull it up a bit at the top. I pulled it too tight, so I do notice that, and then pull that up. That's better. So now I'm going to add my journaling, and my journaling just says, it was amazing to go see the ice hockey final and the Giants win, because they did, which was the icing on the cake really. And then I felt that the paper was just a little bit too white, so I'm coming in with this honeycomb stencil from Tim Holtz. Belfast, if you don't know, is most well known for the Giant's Causeway, and that's a cluster of stones which are all hexagonal shaped, and also something that they mention all the time. So like their ice hockey team is called Belfast Giants, alluding to Giant's Causeway. So I thought using hexagons would be a nice nod to that on this layout. So I've just used I pulled out antique linen to use, but in fact I just used the yellow that was left on my dauber. I can't remember which colour it was, but there was enough there just to give a faint hint of yellow. And then I'm going to come in with this plus stamp from my LE Studio Thankful stamp. I use this all the time, absolutely love it. Just adds a little bit of texture and something of interest to a layout when you feel it's too white. I had to pull that resin dot off. It was too tall to be able to stamp properly around it, so that was the easiest solution, just to rip it off and then stick it back on again once I finished stamping. So just adding a few more bits around. I'll add another at the top and then one at the bottom here, and I want it to overlap, hang off the end, so I just used some scrap paper to stamp that down on. And then I decide that I also, first of all I add the date, so using my roller date stamp on those tickets at the top, and I do it twice on both the tickets. And then I decide I want to bring in some splatters. So this is a Shimmers paint. I think it's called Princess. It's a beautiful purple, so it just matches that paper really nicely. And then I can't resist. I come in with my gold Heidi Swap Colour Shine as well. So while I'm doing this, don't forget to check the description box down below to see all the details to follow Ruth. I think she's got an Instagram account, and also the playlist that Christie has created for us all to add our videos to every day. So I'm just finishing off with some Nouveau crystal drops, first of all in gold and then in black, and that's the layout done. So do check the close-ups at the end, and I shall see you again tomorrow for day 27. Bye.